Tripurari, Maheshwara Tripurari, Maheshwara Tripurari, Maheshwara Tripurari, Gangadhara Trilochana, Gangadhara Trilochana, Gangadhara Trilochana, Gangadhara Trilochana, Vamadeva Panabihari, Vamadeva Panabihari, Vamadeva Panabihari, Vamadeva Panabihari, Shankara Shri Bhutanatha, Shankara Shri Bhutanatha, Shankara Shri Bhutanatha, Shankara Shri Bhutanatha, Ayo Sharanati Hari, Ayo Sharanati Hari, Ayo Sharanati Hari, Ayo Sharanati Hari. Hara 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 Mahadeva.
Welcome everyone. Very happy to be with you all. Today is January 29th, Saturday here in Washington DC, early in the morning, 5:30 a.m. It's 4 p.m. over there in Delhi, and where other places it's early afternoon, where some of you are joining from the other parts of the world. Namaskar, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, welcome. And we have a very nice bouquet of light, so to speak. We'll be continuing today on the strategy of light and darkness that we started last week. So we'll talk about it a little bit more. I hope you are enjoying it, or you're practicing it, or you're becoming wiser to kind of look at them and integrate in your day-to-day behavior, and also in the thoughts and feelings and everything else that is part of our day-to-day life. So let's do our first thing first. I think I'm looking at the watch. It's time to start our work today. So Jay, can we have our invocation? Can we display that the wording, and then play that the invocation from the messenger Gruma, and then we begin our program for this afternoon.
O mighty river of light, cascading from the great central sun, purify us now. Let the river of life pass through us. Let us receive now the impartation of Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and the Divine Mother, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Come forth now, quicken and balance our threefold flame. In the victory of love, show forth unto us wise dominion and the full manifestation of God's holy will. We call for the nourishing of all servants of God, all children in the earth, all elemental life. We call for the healing of the earth body and the bodies of all people. We call for the mitigation of world karma by the violet flame, by the divine love of intercession of Almighty God. We celebrate now the great victory of Lord Krishna in our hearts. Come now, Lord Krishna, intensify that sacred fire. Come as the dispeller of all darkness. Come as the great Avatara. Come forth as God manifestation within us. Truly we acknowledge thee and invoke thee. Come forth Brahma, come forth Vishnu, come forth Shiva. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and the Divine Mother. Amen.
I wanted to add a couple of words about this invocation that we always hear that when in the teachings, you probably know that, but when you say come Brahma, come Vishnu, come Shiva, come Krishna, come, what does that mean? Come means, that yeah, we are welcoming God in our temple, but I think the part that is that sometimes we overlook is that we are part of that. We are not really, we are not apart from it, but our consciousness sometimes goes away. Our consciousness is not really. We feel separated from because of our consciousness. So one thing that we'll be playing a dictation from tomorrow from Mark Prophet or Lanello, Ascended Master Lanello. And in that he talks about, you might have seen the picture of Krishna and Radha on a swing, going back and forth from and I think I did not know that, but in that dictation tomorrow that we'll be hearing, Mark Lanello talks about the swing. The Krishna is really the bridegroom or the higher self or the Atma, and the soul is the Radha, and or this is the bride. And then I did not know that part. So you can see Radha and Krishna sitting on the swing, going from this way to that way. So he says this way, like if you can see my hands, one side is before you descended into the matter plane. So you are spiritual being right on this side. On this side, you are in the matter body, the physical body. In between, and your swing goes like this. It's like the karma and the between that. So he says, don't meditate on the middle part. Your meditation, your concentration should be on, because you are spiritual being, and you are spiritual being on this side, beginning and on the ending. Beginning here on this side, then swing goes this side, then it goes back, swing like this. So both sides is really, it's like you are a spiritual being, you are beginning. When you took the first embodiment and we take the last embodiment, when you achieve the moksha, you are again spiritual beings. In between is the bhav sagar, we call it, or the maya or the karma or all that. So that is not where we put our attention. So we go like this, on both sides. And you are sitting next to your higher self. The soul is sitting next to your higher self, your Atma. So Radha and Krishna, Radha being the soul and Krishna being the higher self or the Atma, are together. And that is the point that I wanted to kind of emphasize. We'll talk more about that tomorrow when we listen to his discourse tomorrow. So please do attend tomorrow. It's a very important dictation that and very practical things he talks about that. So okay, let's welcome all of you who have joined us on behalf of the Chananda Culture Society. I'd like to welcome Okizi, my friend. Welcome from Nigeria. Yeah. Reneji, welcome. Very nice to have you found the time to be with us. Jadvi Saab, welcome. Alkaji, welcome. Dr. Ranjiji, welcome. Pooja Nikhaleji, welcome. Pooja Tuliji, welcome. And I think Shabia ji is connecting. So Shabia ji, welcome. So let's begin our journey together. I think we always start our work with a meditation. This is a meditation on the heart chakra. So I think if we can have that word document, I am the light of the heart, J, those few wordings of that. So, and that we play that heart meditation. It's about 7 minutes long. So let's have that heart meditation so we can be clearing our heart. By clearing our heart chakra, we will be reconnecting with our Atma, with our higher self. We will be becoming more peaceful. And so that is a beautiful meditation that we have played before. So all yours, Jay.
Heart meditation. Go within and bring your attention to your heart, placing your hand over your heart to draw your awareness there. Close your eyes and breathe deeply several times until you feel calm and centered. Visualize yourself seated before a beautiful altar in the secret chamber of your heart. See a threefold flame blazing upon the altar. Envision yourself robed in garments befitting this holy occasion. Focus on the image of your threefold flame. Visualize large, pulsating blue, golden, and pink flames radiating out from the center of your chest. Feel deep love and gratitude in your heart for the gift of life that has been given to you. Now intone the Om as you hold this visualization. Give the following affirmation to increase the flow of light from your Christ self to your heart and then out into the world. I am the light of the heart.
I am the light of the heart, shining in the darkness of being, and changing all into the golden treasury of the mind of Christ. I am projecting my love out into the world, to erase all errors and to break down all barriers. I am the power of infinite love, amplifying itself until it is victorious, world without end.
Seal your meditation with the following prayer.
Beloved Holy Christ Self, I ask you to show me how to walk more closely with you each day. Keep my heart pure and attuned to your divine direction at all times. I am grateful for the gift of life and the presence of God within my heart.
Let's welcome. We have Pooja Ahuja ji and Shabia ji, welcome. Say Rita Lamba ji, welcome. I think we have everyone on board. Very nice to have all of you. I wanted to say a couple of words about this, what we just did, the meditation on Om, and some of the things that you might already know that, but I still wanted to kind of share with you, because it's always we always learn from each other. So what is the word Om, chanting of the Om? You know that we have been chanting in Om, in particular in India. The Om is a very holy vibration, but we have been told by the master that Om has the highest vibration in science of the spoken word. Highest vibration in the science of the spoken word, like we have music, but this is science of the spoken word, chanting. Why? What does that mean, that highest vibration? Highest vibration means that we are Om, we are beings, we are everything is Om, everything is created by Om, everything is being created by Om, everything is a positive vibration of Om. Om is the highest vibration. So when Om can be spelled as O-M, but also it can be spelled as A-U-M, Om. A stands for alpha, or the spirit component of us. I'm going to be talking about that in a minute. M is about the matter or mother part of your spirit. It's the spirit, A alpha. M is mother, or the physical body. U in between is you. So I think what I wanted to share with you is the A. If you look at it, I am present chart, I will be able to showing you pretty soon. A is the top figure, M is the bottom figure, and U is the middle figure, where U is. You can look at it this way. A is the crown chakra, right here. M is the base of the spine chakra, the lowest one. And the U is the heart chakra. A, U, and M is the lowest one. So if you notice the sound of the Guru Maharaj, when she was chanting Om, and it was not shrill, the voice was not shrill, it does not had any vibration of the solar plexus chakra. So it's coming from the heart. That is most important. When sometimes we chant Om, we can chant Om through throat chakra, which could be very noisy, very imbalanced. Throat chakra is connected with the solar plexus chakra, where emotions are. So it's very important. You can see if this way you can measure that highest vibration when it is coming from the heart itself. So you can start chanting few times Om, and gradually see the vibration rising from that solar plexus chakra to the heart. You can that's why when we started this meditation, he said, put your hands on your heart. That was the first thing that the person who was leading the meditation said that. So the idea is, when you raise the vibration to the level of the heart, there is a threefold flame. That's where the light of the spirit from the crown chakra, and light of the matter from the base of the spine chakra, Muladhara chakra, it descends, the light descends from this, light ascends from the Muladhara chakra, they meet in the center, like this, you can look at it like that. They meet in the heart chakra, and that's where to chant 5 minutes or longer than that, but visualize that. Visualization is the key to precipitation or bringing that energy to you. Visualization is like putting your attention on something. This is called visualization. So you have to consciously put your attention on threefold flame, or you can put your hand like that on your heart, making sure that you are connecting with that, the light descending from the crown and light ascending from the base of the spine and meeting over there. in the heart chakra. Okay, we're going to be talking about strategies of light and darkness. But I think I wanted to share with you because someone told me, I was talking to someone that there is a vibration of fear, strategy of light and darkness, that we get the fear that something we have to know about the darkness. Yeah, darkness is a negative energy, and we have to overcome that. So somebody was telling me that we have to be. How do we overcome the fear? How can we overcome the fear of darkness, which is really the strategies of darkness are based upon dark forces, the negative forces, which operate on the fear. That's very true. So I thought it would be a good thing if you go over something that we have been doing about the chart of the I am presence. That is a very, very important tool to understand the strategy of light. We are beings of light, and our chart of the presence is our lighthouse, our focus, our point of light of the I am, that I explain to you in a minute. So I think let's have that. Jay, can we have that display the picture of the chart of the great I am? I think that will give us a retro perspective, gives a perspective also who we really are, what we are talking about when we talk about we are beings of light, and how this is the picture who we really are, what our source is. So in the absence of the top picture, which we call the great I am, there's a I am and there's a great I am. And that is, so we have to know kind of, the light which comes in the next picture, I'll be talking to you in a minute. Where does it come from? It comes from the great I am. We call it Om. Remember we're talking about the Om? Om is the highest vibration. This is our key. Chanting of the science of the spoken word through decrees that we do that, which are all Om. All what we utter, what we say from our mouth, even our thoughts are Om. Even our feelings are Om. But we have not gotten that far yet. So we are practicing only the science of the spoken word yet. But when we have mastered the spoken word and the Om, then we go to master the Om in the silence. Om in the thoughts, Om in the feelings. That's what yogis have done. That's what yogis do when they are quietly meditating on that silence, or they call it whatever the word they call it, vacuum, or shunyata, or zero, or stillness. There are many words they use for the stilling of the mind, stilling of the feelings, and stilling of your physical body. So you become one with their vibration. Then you hear the silent word of the Om from the universe, from the cosmos. This picture that you look at is the great I am, is the picture of, you can see all the top figure, you can see what is that? That looks on the top is a great causal body, or great I am. I am great. What is the great I am? You might be thinking, what is the great I am? Great I am is the causal body of every ascended master, every cosmic being, every person, for our universe. We have many universes. For our part of the universe, in which the earth is a planet, that is the cumulative, or the together, the causal body of light, or the bank, mighty big bank of light, that we are connected to that. So from very beginning, a child is born, to the very end, a child or the old person leaves the body, the physical body. This is the way those are threads you see, those we call them crystal cords in a minute in the other picture. That is where the light flows from the top to the individual. You see all the little what you call they don't look like balloon, but they are miniature I am presence. The one on the top is a great I am. I'm calling it I am. I'm not calling the great picture as big picture as I am that I am. I am that I am means something different. I am that I am means I am in the spirit and I am in the matter. The great causal body is I am in the spirit only. It's not I am that I am. It's only I am. I am means Om. Om is the causal body of every Sunday message, is the cumulative bank or cumulative reservoir or cumulative ocean, cumulative sun. However you want to say that, and you can look at the other ones coming as a rays coming from that sun. From the sun, we are all the rays. So let's go to the next picture, J, the individualization of the I am that I am. So this is the where that the top figure becomes in the matter plane, I am that I am, as above, so below, is called Om, or Om Tat Sat Om. Om, I am that I am, is the same as I am Om Tat Sat Om. Om is Tat Sat means truth. As I am truth in the Om, in the spiritual plane, I am truth in the lower plane, in the physical plane. And that is the point of the understanding of knowing our source and our identity, our origin, our how our heart beats from the source of light that is coming from. In a lot of religion, this part is not known. This part of the presence is mentioned there in the Vedas. Om Tat Sat Om, and there are 4 Mahavakyas, there are 4, but the picture is not there. So 4 Mahavakyas that we have in the Vedas, Aham Brahmasmi, one of them is Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atma Brahma, Prajananam Brahma, and Tattvam Asi. These are 4 Mahavakyas. They all mean the same thing. I am that I am. Om Tat Sat Om. But in the absence of a picture like this, visualization like that, we kind of, I speak for myself. I knew those 4 Mahavakyas, but I could not visualize that. I could not picture that. I needed something to picture that. So if you feel the meaning of all 4 Mahavakyas, that is same as Tattvamasi means I am truth. Somebody saying I am truth, as above, so below. Tattvamasi, I am, Tattvam, thou art what I am. Thou means jo tum ho wo niche. I am as above, so below. I am Atma Brahma is that I am is Brahman, is a Brahman. Brahman means truth. I am Brahman. This is a chart, is called the chart of the Brahman, is a profile. Not Brahma, but Brahman is a profile of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Let's talk about that. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, how they are embedded in this chart of Brahman. Top figure, middle figure, bottom figure. Top figure is the same as you saw the great causal body individualized that you saw in the great I am. This is the miniature or individualized presence of God in you. That is a very, very important part. So individualized presence of God means what? That means you and I, we are all created in the image and likeness of God. We know that. We heard that. I heard that for many years when I was growing up. But what I did not know, and because I was not told that I am becoming God, I am a son of God, daughter of God, I am God. When I say I am God, that means something, people say, oh no, how can you say that you are God? We have we have committed pap and we have committed sin and we are sinful and we are that. Yeah, that is karma. But when we were created in the beginning, this is where we were like our parents, our divine parents. We are like our divine parents are Alpha and Omega, Father, Mother, God. We were like in the image and likeness of, we had the same genes, same DNA, same atoms, same electrons, same molecules. But in the process, we became impure, and that we call it sin. And we got separated from our Father, Mother, God, that consciousness. Now, but we can, so I am presence, the decrees that we have, our affirmations that we have, are all I am that I am, I am. They did not say I am becoming God. They say I am God. Because what we say, we become that. That is the science of the Om. That's why we chanted Om just now. So this is the top figure, is the body of the I am. Middle figure is the that. I am that I am. I am the top. The middle figure is that. That means what? I'll explain to you the meaning of that. And then the lower figure is again I am. I am that I am. That means the middle figure is a guru, is our teacher, is a step down transformer, is the Atma, is a higher holy Christ self, is called the Krishna consciousness, Guru Nanak consciousness, whatever name you call him. It's a conscious. The word of the conscious is a silent word, is the a word. In the beginning was the word, and it's the word of the Atma. I am Atma Brahma. I am is the top figure. Atman is this one, and I am Atma Brahman. That means I am, and I am the top figure, and the middle figure Brahm. I am the top figure, and I am the middle figure are Brahman. They are both same vibration. They are immortal. Lower figure is a jivatma, which is not. It's separated because of the karma, that bad karma, bad choices that we made. The good karma is up in the bank. Those of the good karma of the soul that she made, the jivatma that she made, it is stored up there and is being stored up there as we do that right now with our thought, feelings, word, and action. All that good karma is being stored in the causal body. That is, the causal body is the body of the first cause. First cause means the first principle. First principle is that why you are you are made of light. First principle, you are made of light. So you have to you're being the light, and you increase that bank, you increase that light. That's the first principle. But sometimes when we make wrong choices because of free will choice, the choices that we made, we may get bad choices, we made negative karma. And that is why we got separated. Anyway, so my point here is that we are beings of light, but here is very, very important part in this chart I wanted to share with you. And this is this. Please remember that the crystal code going from the bottom figure, which is you, to the heart of the bottom person, with a threefold flame in there. Then there is a crystal cord, like a thread, like a rope, that goes from the threefold flame, goes over the head of the person from the lower figure, goes to the heart of the middle figure, which is Atma, goes to the heart of the I am. And then from that it goes to the heart of the great I am that I showed you. So that is you want to visualize that, these are all in the 3, 4, 5 dimension. It's not just the one dimension or two dimension that you are looking at. It's a multi-dimensional transfiguration, multi-dimensional outpicturing of who we really are, and so remember the thread of the contact, that and through 3, 4 flame. That's what I wanted to put your attention on from this point forward. When you do the strategies of light, your thread of contact, this thread, this crystal cord we call it, beats your heart, and that gives you the energy, impulses of light energy. So when we talk about the strategies of light and darkness, the strategies of light means this is our source of light. All you have to do when you are doing this decrease, put your attention on this threefold flame, this crystal cord or this contact. But when we are doing this course on strategies of light and darkness, please do not be fearful of that darkness is more powerful. No, it's not. Darkness is, as we'll be talking about the strategies of light and darkness, that is just a misqualification of energy of light. And so light is more powerful. And that's what I wanted to start our journey today. Every time we do our strategy of light and darkness, we will be focusing on this particular chart of the presence just to refresh us, because our decrees that we are doing, that you are doing, until March 31st, we are doing a set of decrees. We have a matrix that I hope you are doing that. I know there are many decrees that I have listed over there, but do as many as you can. That will charge your heart chakra, all of your chakras with more light. More light. You'll be like milking down, like a milking down and bringing down the energy of light from your great I am to your top of the figure in this, and then from the middle figure to your heart chakra. From your heart chakra, the light goes to all your other 6 chakras. So that's how we are nourished by that light, which really makes us, the light of God is more is the light of Om. You are sons and daughters of God. Have you seen any picture of Krishna or any picture of any Ganeshji or any picture of any ascended master in a fearful mode? They are not, because it has no power. Evil has no power. And we accept the power that we give it by entertaining those kind of thoughts. Anyway, Jay, I think I want to start looking at the watch. So let's bring that the next the strategy of light and darkness where we left off. We're going to let's see who have joined us. Satija ji, welcome. Nirav Trivedi ji, welcome. Okay, Jay, my friend, let's have the presentation. This presentation has been mailed to you. I also send you by email. Also, Poonam has posted it on the WhatsApp. So you have this thing with you. And I think the reason is that when we do not have something like this, we forget it. So now you have this thing in your hands, and you can refresh your memories after this workshop. And please go over it. It will be not easy to get everything that I'm saying because a lot of these concepts are new. A lot of the terminologies that I'm using are new, and it takes a while to really understand them and meaning of that. So that's why we have to read it. We have to hear it a few times, and then it slowly starts gelling into our mind, into our heart, into our being in the life. So I'm going to say that I'm going to look at only the highlighted portion here to save the time. The challenge of darkness should not be feared or avoided. I haven't talked about that, but neither should we go out of our way to seek it out. This is so, I think this is we have to be armed, and we have to be prepared for that. Arming ourselves with light, arming ourselves with the understanding of the consciousness of who we really are. I am that I am. Then preparing ourselves. How do we prepare ourselves? Through decrease, through meditation, through prayers, through sadhana, through concentration, and through one pointed goal, one pointed concentration, one pointed, not scattered, not here thinking about this thing while we are decreeing, while we are praying, while we are meditating about our mind going here and there, and we are scattered all over that. Then we are not gathering any energy. You heard that a rolling stone gathers no mass. Well, a rolling attention gathers no energy. Simple as that. We have to learn how to discipline ourselves through our heart chakra, through Om, practice of the Om. That's why, but understanding meaning of the Om is that you are one with the great I am. Through the small I am, individualized I am presence, I am that I am, you travel to the universes, you travel to the cosmos, you go beyond time and space. But that is a process. This does not happen overnight. I'm going to tell you that, because we have lost that practice. We have our food, our energy around us, our bombardment of media, our cell phones, our this, our that, it makes us difficult to really refocus, but it is possible. Please, as we do our decrease, 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, whatever you can do, that will help you a long way. I'm telling you, I'm like you. I was like you in the beginning 45 years ago. Gradually, slow and steady wins the race. Do whatever you can, but do something every day in your decrease I'm talking about. I'm going to continue the second sentence. As we become more and more of the light, the confrontation with darkness will come to us. It is simply part of the spiritual path. Someone told me, why will that happen? Because I was not told, you are not told. More light you gather, more light I gather, more darkness you will attract. Somebody says, well, I thought we attract more light when we become more of light. Yes. When we become of light, we gather more light. That is very true. Like attracts like. But also this part is not very well accepted or understood, that light also attracts unlike itself, the darkness. Why? Because the darkness wants that light. Darkness wants to look at the I think I talked about the moth. you have the light bulbs on the street, when the rains in India particularly, there are a lot of bugs, a lot of flies, a lot of mosquitoes, but they're kind of they hang around the light, and the bigger the bulb, the more moths, the more bugs are flying around it. Same thing. So why is that? The light attracts darkness. The darkness wants that light. Darkness wants the light because it wants to actually it's called lies attacks because it wants to also, there is a strategy of darkness. It wants to attack the light to really dethrone the person who is, why? Because darkness does not like light. Darkness does not like light. I will be talking about the strategy of light and darkness. These are some of the intricate points. Why darkness does not like? Because the beings of darkness, they're fallen angels, they are Nephilim, they are seed of the wicked. It's all in the Bible. Jesus talked about their fallen angels. You have in the Hindu scripture the battle of Devtas and Danavs, evil forces. We know that. So this whole thing is that we have to know that as we become more of light, we have to be prepared for that. We have to know the strategy of darkness, how they want to attack, how they attack the light, and how and why they want to dethrone us from our spiritual journey, like scattered attention, like worrying about something else, by this and by that. So we'll be talking about that. Okay, Jay, next one, please. There are 3 Ds. We talked about that. D is very important. The 3 Ds that we have to develop. 3 Ds are the 3 part of the threefold flame: discernment, discrimination, and determination. Discernment is the yellow ray in the middle of the threefold flame. Discrimination is the pink ray on the right side, and the determination is the blue ray on the left side. So these are I was talking to someone the other day, and somebody says, well, it's very difficult because other people attack you. Other people, why do they attack us? And how can we become more of light? How can we determine? How can we overcome that? That's a very good question. What I suggested was that we have to have a balanced threefold flame. When our threefold flame is not balanced, we get hurt, we get painful. People roll over all over us. They're like a doormat. They think that we are nobody. They think that we are weak. We think we are, we do not know. We think we are humble, or too much humble, or too much that. They take our light as our weakness. How do we overcome that? How do we master that? We are how we stop people for behaving like that? Let's put it that way. So we need to have it. We have a decree 20.03, balance the threefold flame in me. As long as we have an unbalanced threefold flame, meaning this: if 2 plumes are lower, any 2 plumes are lower, 1 plume is higher, that 2 plumes will pull that higher, the third one down also to this size. Simple as that. We have to have all the 3 plumes in balance in order to increase its size and for it to spin clockwise. Its size right now is 1/16 of an inch, very, very tiny size. So as long as our threefold flame is not balanced, we become fearful, we become afraid. People roll over all over us. So the key is really balancing the threefold flame. Be mindful, balance threefold flame in me, and you can 20.03. That's a very powerful decree. We have done that. If you do not have decree book, please call Poonam, and I can send you that 20.03 also. Poonam, can you post that also 20.03 today? So people can have that in their if you have not done that already. So this will be a very important tool to really be aware of that, how we can have not feel the pain or the attacks or be afraid even of that people energy that coming to us. Next one, Jay, please. I think I want to move on to the next highlighted portion here. The greatest mistake, this is another one to know, that the greatest mistake you could make is to think that these strategies might not work through you or they do not apply to you. Who's saying that? Who can say that? Yeah, the dark energy in us, which is a dweller. We have a dweller on the threshold in us. The dweller on the threshold in us that says that, oh, aaj mat karo. You don't need to do that. It's not in you. You're saying everyone else is wrong. You are right. Just you have to speak. You have to be bold. You have to talk. You have to open up your mouth. It's okay to get angry. It's okay to do this. It's okay to do that. You have to have your right to speak. All that energy that will come to you. When you have a balanced threefold flame, what can happen? It will happen that you will be in control of that energy. You will know when to talk, when not to talk. You will know how much to talk, how little to talk. You will know what tone to talk, in what tone not to talk. This is the result of your or proof of you have a balanced threefold flame. You will not be run over by people. I'm telling you that. This is something you're going to try that. you will feel like my Ascended Master have given us all the tools, all the keys. They have prepared us whatever we need, but we have to use them. I'm going to read the second part. It would also be a mistake to apply them to others and to assume that this one or that one is a fallen one because they seem to fit the description of or have or picture one of those strategies. Please don't judge that. Don't label people. This person is fallen angel. That person is fallen one. So on and so on. I've heard people say that. I've heard people in the fellow chelas. They sometimes they say, oh, so and so is he's look like a fallen angel, fallen one. Please don't do that. Don't label. Don't put people in a category like that. This is another strategy of the dark forces. Okay, first three strategies that we did last week, I just wanted to run by you. First strategy was separation from the body of God. It's not there, Jay. I think I'm looking at my own notes. The separation from the body of God. This is first strategy of darkness. Second was the separation from the hierarchy. Third strategy of darkness was isolation and aloneness. The first strategy of light is study the lives of the saints. So you cannot be separation from the body of God because all saints have gone through what you are going through. That is the purpose of studying the lives of the saints. We think all the saints were always, they were wearing white clothes. They were always white turban. They were always look very happy, but we did not know what they went through that. So that is why we need to study the lives of the saints. And the separation from hierarchy, the darkness, the strategy of light is reconnect with the hierarchy. How do we reconnect with the hierarchy? By attention, putting our attention on God, I am that I am, putting your attention on the masters, putting your attention on by reading a book or by doing some decrees and etc. etc. So that's how you can reconnect with the hierarchy. The strategy of darkness, third one is isolation and aloneness. The strategy of light is be part of the community of the group. Talk to someone, in the group, in the Sunday Master teaching, talk to myself, talk to Poonam, talk to Jay, talk to anyone that you feel comfortable about your Sunday Master teaching, why you're feeling that way. Anyway, so those are the first three strategies of light and darkness. Now, strategy number 4. Now, this is where we're going to see how far we can go. I have put the strategy from 4 to strategy through 13. I'm not sure how many we can do, but we'll try. I don't want to go too fast, but I wanted to make sure that I'm going to be pausing pretty soon. So I want to have your question, not waiting till the very end, but I will have a couple of breaks, so you can have your questions also. So you might be thinking about the question. If you want to put them in the chat room, that's all right. Or you can raise your hand, that is all right. So we'll be having at least 2 breaks for your questions, Strategy number 4, darkness. The light of the light bearers perpetuating the false hierarchy. The light of the light bearers perpetuating the false hierarchy. What does that mean? You might be thinking, what does that mean? A lot of the dark, there are foxes of darkness. There are false organizations, there are false gurus, and there are also false chelas. Did you know that false chelas? False gurus? Every organization, wherever there's an organization which is a false guru, there are also false chelas. You might not have heard that word. They're false chelas. In order to be a true guru, there has to be a true chela. Somebody wants a true light, wants real light, he goes to the guru who has the light. Person who has a clouded mind, he does not want to really take the God very seriously. He'll go to someone who can please his ego, and you can give money, or you can do this, or you can that. He can accommodate him, by whatever means. So there is no guru without the chela, both ways, false guru or true guru. So false guru attracts the false chelas. True guru attracts the true chelas. It's like again, it's the like attracts like that we're talking about. Like attracts like, darkness attracts darkness. So, simple as that. So the strategy of the dark forces is to have, they know that someone has a light, and they are of dark, they have no light. So they want that particular person who has a light to be in their organization, in their group, because that person has a much more light that can be fed into. I'm going to read that to you from the book. What it means, I think, because this point needs to be understood. The strategy of darkness, here it is. The messengers have taught that many organizations claim the victory of the individual for their organization alone, instead of realizing the victory of all through oneness of all. So they claim one person as the victory. So and so was great. I'm giving example of Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was in Calcutta. She was in India, and a lot of the organization, they gave credit to that particular the Catholic Church that she belonged to, and that was it. They did not give the credit to all the light of all our organization, whether Christian or non-Christian. The light belongs to all of them. They're connected to all. But in this case, the false hierarchy, I'm going to read that. The false hierarchy actually uses the momentum and light of the light bearers in various activities to keep institution alive that might, in the natural order of things, fade away. That's my point. They use that light because they need to perpetuate, they need to grow on. So they need that. We do not know that. The person who has a light does not know that he got stuck over there, and he just, because someone tells, somebody gives money, a lot of donation, somebody gives a lot of publicity, they give the platform to speak and all that, but they are using his light to perpetuate themselves because they have no light on their own. That is very important point to be mindful of that. Second bullet, do not create a false hierarchy in your mind. How do we create a false hierarchy in our mind? We create the false hierarchy in our mind by telling person, I want to take a picture with so and a spiritual leader. I want to take his picture with him. I want to look important. I want to be there. I want to know that. I want to shake that hand of that person. And I want to, so look at it spiritually, spiritual world, look at it in the non-spiritual world. People do that. I want to know that, I know that person. Can I take a picture with so-and-so, congressman or senator or minister or this or that, so I can look important. That is how we create the false hierarchy in our mind, called idolatry. We make a person an idol. And God is light is not like this, but we make ourselves, because we create in our mind so much more important, and then we have a picture in our home hanging on the wall. People come to our home and we show that people. That is how we get connected to that consciousness, and we give our light to the dark forces. There is a reservoir of dark forces as well, as just as long as much as the reservoir of light. I told you great I am. I told you about the great I am, the reservoir of light. There is a great reservoir of darkness that once your light goes into that, they feed, and how they steal the light. You might not have known that. These are the Sunday message teaching. Mark Prophet and Isabel K. Prophet wrote that book. You may want to get this book, Strategy of Light and Darkness. But we needed that explanation. Without that explanation, we will not be able to follow what they are saying in these small bullets. Now, strategy of light in number 4. Consciously withdraw the light from focuses that should not be receiving it. You can say, well, how do I know that? You have a, remember we talked about the threefold flame, gift of discernment that comes from the gifts of discernment comes from the yellow plume. The gifts. Can you go back to that, Jay, please? The threefold flame. I think I want to go back again, just to clarify that. Yeah, here it is. The gift of discernment comes from the yellow ray. Discernment comes from the yellow ray. Mind illumination comes, and this is how you know. This is how you, when we have a threefold flame in balance, or it's getting in balance, or getting in the right size, or expanding in size, you will be able to get that understanding that what I'm saying, it makes sense. The discrimination is a pink ray, and determination is a will. So let's go back to that, Jay, again. So this is your yardstick. This is how you measure. This is how you get to know the answer that you need to know. Gift of light and gift of discernment. Okay. This is a mantra. I put it there. Not a mantra, but an invocation. Let's do it together. You can say 3 times. In the name of my mighty I am presence, I withdraw the light from focuses that should not be receiving it. In the name of my mighty I am present. Why we say that? In the name of my mighty I am present. This is your reservoir of light. This is your authority. This is your power. This is your command. This is your passport. This is your key to draw to use it. Because every single demon and discarnate, every dark angel, everyone, he's afraid when you say that in the name of my mighty I am present. They know this is a command, and they cannot withstand that. And you will feel a difference, how you will feel uplifted right away when you give this command again. In the name of my mighty I am present, I withdraw the light from focuses that should not be receiving it. And you will feel that. So you can say, well, can I do that in my mind? Quite silently. Science of the spoken word says that you have to speak it with authority and with a command. You cannot say, I always joke about the story of in the Bible is a story about Jesus. There was a person, his name was Lazarus. He had been dead for 3 days, and he was put in the grave also. And when Jesus came there, and Jesus was told that he was friend of Jesus, that Lazarus was dead, So he went there. Jesus went with his friends, and he removed the stone from the grave. And then he said, very, very loud voice, he said, Lazarus, come forth. Very loud voice, like a command. And he could have said, Lazarus, my friend, buddy, come out. Let's go home. Not like this. Command is the science of the spoken word, is authority. When I heard that, I said, oh, now I understand why we have to give these degrees in the science of the spoken word as a command, as an authority. In the name of I am that I am, it's not black magic. You might be thinking it's a black magic. Someone could tell you that. Not so. In the name of my Maria presence, it's authority of God, it's a white magic. That is something that will the negative mind, the negative people, the dweller which we have inside, they will try to tell us otherwise, but not so. Okay, strategy number 5. You are not good enough. You heard that. You are not good enough. What does that mean? I'm going to read that. You are not good enough. What does that mean? The messengers have often warned that the forces of darkness will tell you that you are not good enough. They will say to you, quote, you can't be a saint because you have sinned, or because you have sinned, you can never rise again. This kind of statement, either made to us through others or through our own dweller on the threshold, accentuates any low self-esteem that may be present from this or other lifetime. We have a lot of low self-esteem, and that kind of gives birth or makes it bigger. You cannot be, no, you are this or you are, I wanted to share with you that we do not know. That's why we should study the lives of the saints. We only look at the lives of few glimpses of the saints. Like I'll give you example of Jesus, of Guru Nanak, or or Krishna, or any other being. We only have some few glimpses, few paragraphs, few chapters of all things. We do not know from the day they were born to the day they left the plane of the earth, how they lived the 24-hour day's life. Probably like us, going through that. So saints are not born with a silver spoon in their mouth, so to speak. They go through the challenges. They made mistakes. Ascended masters are like that. Ascended masters are very good examples of that. So we cannot be thinking that I'm not good enough, So this it creates low self-esteem positively, like the strategy of light. Number one, affirm that God in you is good enough. I am that I am. I am that I am. Just chant Om Tat Sat Om. I am that I am. You can chant any mantra, to that. Number two, study the lives of the saints. They also made mistakes. I explained about you. Number three, study the psychology of your soul. This is very, very important. Study the psychology of your soul. Consult someone who knows this about it. Psychology of the soul, not the mind. A lot of people think psychology is the mind of the study of the psychology of the mind. Not so. There's a Kutumi as a master psychologist. You can pray to Kutumi to heal my psychology. There's a decree that we have in a decree book. I think 0.10 J. What is the number of that book? Number of the decree? The decree to the I am light decree. I am light, glowing light. I think 7.10a. I think it's 7.10a. The decree that we can give to Kutumi. Kutumi said, if you give that decree to me 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, more than that, every day, he will.
Yes, sir, it is 7.10a. 7.10a.
7.10a. Thank you. 7.10a. Kutumi says, when you give that decree, he will work with our psychology. So you can give that decree as to heal your psychology. Bind the dweller at the threshold. We have posted that. Poonam has posted that decree 20.09. 20.09 as another. Bind the dweller at the threshold. Another decree. Okay. Last bullet. Laugh at the devil and don't take yourself too seriously. This is very, very important. Laugh at the devil. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of fellow chelas. Sometimes they will become, it's a strategy of light and darkness. I have to be very serious. Devil does want us to make us look serious and forget our joy. Joy is a motor of life. How can you have the joy when you are when you are living in the relative world? We live in the relative world of good and evil. We have to accept that. But so one of the things that joy comes from the violet flame. I can share you with that part. Do more violet flame decrees to get joy, so you can laugh at the devil and don't take yourself seriously. Here is the affirmation. In the name of my mighty I am present, I refute the lie of condemnation. In the name of my mighty I am present, I affirm that God in me is good enough. I affirm that I am a son and daughter of God, and I claim my higher self now. So this is another affirmation. So these are the 4 and 5. Let's pause here. I think you might have. Jay, anyone has any hand raised? Any comment? Any questions before you go on to the next one?
No, sir. No.
Okay. let's continue with the strategy number 6. Strategy number 6 is the strategy of darkness. Please deprive the light bearers. This is what they are thinking. The dark forces are thinking, let's do this. Let's deprive the light bearers of the knowledge of the path of ascension, the light within, and then they are worthy of their ascension. This is their, so they have meetings like that. Dark forces have a chamber like a great white brotherhood. There's an Indian black brotherhood. There's an African black brotherhood. There is I think, black brotherhood of the, there are limitless numbers. I cannot, I don't remember that, but there are dark forces. There are black brotherhood all over the world, and they meet in their meetings, like the great white brotherhood meets in their retreats. They have also their dark force. I won't call their retreats. Their dark foxes. I won't call their places where they meet as a as a retreat. They are not. They are dark forces. They meet there and they come with their strategies. So one of the strategies, so let's deprive the light bearers of the knowledge of the path of the ascension. That what is the goal of life? You might be thinking, what's my goal of life? Moksha, ascension. We descended, I am descended, our Jivatma descended onto the earth to gather more light and then return. What happened was, we forgot about your temptation, we made karma, this and that, materialistic things, and we'll do it next lifetime. I'll make my ascension. Let me enjoy right now, because the physical senses took over, emotional senses, all the other senses took over. We forgot our mission, our ascension, our dharma. We call it dharma and karam. We made more karam, and we made our dharma was to gather more light. karma was good karma, bad karma. We made more bad karma rather than making good karma, and that is how we got stuck here. So we forgot our goal of life is ascension. So this is their strategy. So they throw in our ways all this kind of things, all the temptation, all that this busyness of life. Oh, aaj ye kar lo, tomorrow, we can do decrease later on. We can, everything else, and some other things are real. Some things are, roti kapda or makan. People have gone caught up into that things, There's no time to do that. So it was all karma. Karma created us for people have no time for anything. They just go to work and come home and tired and go to bed. And so this was not the way it was meant to be. If you look at the previous golden ages, there were 3 root races. The first 3 root races that came to the earth, they ascended. They made more light. They gathered more light. The Jivatma, they never got separated from the Atma, and they returned back. 4th root race, 5th root race, 6th root race, and now 7th root race coming to the earth. Root races are the bunch of many people, millions of souls who come. They are sponsored by master. They come to the earth and they are sponsored, and they are supposed to gather more light like first 3 root races did, but they got stuck here. They forgot their life of the purpose of life is to make their ascension. There is a requirement for the earth that at least one person, this is the Lords of Karma's mercy, at least one person from the earth must make his or her ascension for the earth to survive. This is something that we were not told. One person is a minimum. One person has to make the ascension for the light to keep on going. But the idea was really to everyone on the earth has to make their ascension. This is the goal of life. So you can imagine how much of a long rope the Lords of Karma has given to us, from how many billions of people are there on the earth, 6-point-some billion people. And out of that, only one person has to make the ascension to keep the evolution of the earth going. But look on the other side, the flip side, and this is the purpose of the Sunday Master teaching, when is now? Now we know the law. Now we know the truth. Now we know the strategy of light and darkness. Now we must make this our first priority, to make our ascension in this life. People tell you, agle janam mein dekhenge, and that is a tool of the dark forces, procrastination. Let's look at the other side of the darkness, of the light. Share the knowledge of the ascension. That's what we are sharing right now. Remind yourself that the ascension is the goal of life. I shared about that. Apply the law. The law is impersonal. What does that mean? वो संत है, वो संत महात्मा है, वो अच्छे हैं, वो है उनका, वो हमारे लिए, he is holding a balance for me. If I go to Gurdwara, if I invite the so and so saint to my house, if I go with him, I take my picture with him, if I sit with him, I will also make my ascension. Not so. Not by association. It never happens like that. These are false theology, my friend. It is impersonal law. Everyone has to pick up his own karma. Everyone has to do the work. Everyone has in the race. Everyone has to run. False. I'll give you false theology example of that. Long time ago, about 1980, I think I went to. I was in Delhi and Nehru place, someplace. And I was sitting and talking to someone, and this person says, "I have a guru," and he tells me that, as you go to a station and there's a train there, and the train is, the guru is driving the train. You just ride the train, and guru will take you to the destination. This was what he told me that, and I said, "Wow, that's not the Sunday Master is teaching. You have to do your own work. Guru is not going to carry you. There are exceptional cases when Guru takes your karma. Exceptional cases are always there. Yogananda's case, Sri Yukteswar case, other Ramakrishna's case, they are always there. Mercy of God gives that. But to make it a general rule like this, that Guru will take my karma. Guru has to balance that karma also. If it takes on your karma, please, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It only changes form. The Guru takes your karma upon himself because he loves you. That is the reason. That is so. But people make a general rule of something like that. So that is a false theology. That I want to share with you. So law is impersonal. Everyone has to balance their karma and fulfill their divine plan or dharma. Next one, the call compels the answer. This is a very, very important thing to mention. What does it mean the call compels the answer? Simply means that every affirmation, every prayer, every decree that you do does not go in vain. Every mantra, everything that you say, every Shabad. But when you do as a command, call is a command. Prayer is not a call, is not a prayer, is not a prayer. Prayer is something we are begging something, we're asking for God. He gives us. But when you are, I am that I am, you know who you really are, then Master gave us the calls, the command in the name of I am that I am, which is much more powerful. Then you are in the driver's seat, you are driving the car. You are not sitting next to the driver and saying, oh, take me there, take me there, take me there. You're not dependent upon the driver. You are solo. You are driving by yourself. You are flying by yourself. This is the teaching of the masters. But when you make a call in command, it answers. Next one, develop a momentum and guard it. Develop a momentum and guard it. What does that mean? Develop a momentum of light and guard it. That's why we seal it. Somebody says, well, we do our sealing. So now I can go to wherever I want to go. I said, no, not so. You seal it and then you guard it. You guard it by, I'm going back to the discernment and discrimination, and the third element is this, acting on it, taking action. You still have to, when you seal it, then you have to know when to speak, when not to speak, how much to speak, how more to speak. How to speak with your what tone. That is guarding of the heart chakra. It's not that you have sealed your energy, then you can go, excuse me for saying that, person can go to a bar, person can go to any wrong place, and be a drug addicts, person can go to see a movie, people can see go into conversation, and I have guarded, I've sealed my energies. You have to guard it. You have to protect your treasure, the light that you have guarding. Otherwise, what will happen? This can happen. Your 4 hours, or your 3 hours, or your 2 hours, or your 1 hour, or your month long, or your year long momentum of light to decrease that you have your garnered, you have earned, you have saved, it can be gone when you don't guard it through argument, through discussion, through going to a wrong place, through going to a wrong, like watching a wrong movie. It will be drained in very short amount of time, relatively speaking. So that is something you watch your company, you watch your association, you watch your thoughts, you watch your feelings, you watch your actions, you watch your words. This is guarding. Watching means guarding. So that is what it is. Last bullet is believe that you are worthy of your ascension. This is the same thing that I am not worthy. I'm saying that God in me is worthy. What is God in you? Threefold flame is God in you. I am that I am is God in you. You are son and daughter of God. You can say you are becoming that, but you are son and daughter of God here and now. And that is the point that I wanted to convey to you, that what I'm saying that to you might be sounding like बहुत मुश्किल है sir, ये नहीं हो सकता, ये तो है. Who is telling you that? Who will be telling you that? The dweller, the negative mind, which is the dweller on the threshold. He doesn't want to listen to that. He will tell you, sir ने तो किया होगा. I'll tell you about a story about someone, how the dweller gave me the answer. I had someone who was coming late always. And I said, why you're coming late? Oh, this and that. It happened. That person never came on time. I got the two answers. But I am always on time. Oh, sir, you came from America because in America, people are very disciplined. Okay, that is exception. A dweller gave me that answer. Second answer, but so-and-so is not from America. He is a military. He's a military, people are always on time. So they are also, so dweller is very, I won't say smart, he's very cunning, very deceptive. He gives you answer because he does not want you to be on time. And Almoria says, when we are not on time, the time is the focal point of mother. We hate mother, we hate time. We hate to be on time. When we love our mother, our divine mother, then we are always going to be on time. When we love our father, father is the space. So I had to be at that place at that time. X-axis, Y-axis. X-axis, if you know that what I'm talking about, X-axis is the time, Y-axis is the space or the father. X-axis is the mother. X and Y-axis is because we are spiritual beings. We have to be at particular time, at particular place, and we have to discipline ourselves. When we don't discipline ourselves, we hate father, we hate mother. We are not going to be hate on time. We are not going to be at that place. We hate father. I did not know that. I'm just giving you that we are spiritual beings. We have to think that way. We are not human beings. Human beings are dwellers. Give those examples. Anyway, here is the mantra. Which we say decree 1.30 is a heart-hand decree. I am ascension light, victory flowing free, all of good, one at last for all eternity. I am light, all weights are gone, into the air I raise. To all I pour with full God power my wondrous song of praise. All hail, I am the living Christ, the ever-loving one, ascended now with full God power. I am a blazing sun. Give that mantra, powerful mantra, affirmation hai ye very simple hai, because it helps you to reaffirm the goal of life is ascension. Now in this life, not next life. I give you an example of that, why this life and why not next life. Almoria's teaching is this, and I remember that he said that we do not know next life where you will be, where I will be if I don't balance my karma. 51% of the karma I have to balance to make my ascension. It used to be 100% of the karma before. Thanks to Saint Germain, thanks to mighty victory, thanks to lords of karma. They gave us this dispensation of making our moksha, our ascension, with only 51% of the karma balanced. We can balance remainder 49% from that ascended level, ascended state. But we still have to balance that. Why did they did that? Why did they give that dispensation? Because people were not able to balance 100% karma in one life So there are very few people who are making ascension. That's why they gave only one person. One person can make ascension every year. But the second reason was this. Why they gave that dispensation? Because people were making in one life, they will making a spiritual progress. They will balance like a lot of karma, 51, 55, 60%. Next life they will come and there's another false teaching. People said, oh, wherever you leave your karma, next life you come, you continue from that. Not so. Not so. People, when they have balanced 51, more than 51% of karma, let's say 60%, 70% of the karma during the old dispensation. Now it's not. During that old dispensation, next life they will come, they will go back. They'll go from 51 to 49 to 48 to 47. They'll go back. So loads of, so they said, well, said that was the reason why when we balance our 51% of the karma, we should make our ascension, we should make our choice to make ascension, balance 49% from that ascended master realm, because next life, people think that we'll look at the next life. We do not know where you will be born, where I will be born, what place, what city, what neighborhood, what parents, what everything. Ascended master teaching or not, I'll go backward. So while we have the light, let's make most when we have the light, that the sun shines, as they say, So this is a very, very important part of the why we should be taking it seriously, our ascension in this life. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Any question, Jay? Let's see, anyone has any question in the chat room? Anyone? Can you ask people any question? Jay, please.
Poonam is already on a co-host. If there are questions, she can take from here.
Okay.
Right now, there are no questions from anyone.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I don't go too fast here. I think I would like to give everyone a.
Sir, I think it's a better idea to have questions at the last.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, I'll continue. We have a few more friends. Belinda ji, welcome. Anita ji, welcome. Let's see. Let me see anyone that I have missed. Parminder ji, welcome. And I think that's all. Pooja Nikhale ji, welcome. I think Mohini ji, welcome. Pradeep ji, welcome. So let's go back to where I was. I want to finish as many as I can. I think maybe I'll try to do one or two more. I don't think I'll be able to go all the way through to 13, because my goal is not to finish them. My goal is to really go slowly and really cover every strategy of light, every strategy of darkness. So let's go to number 7, please, Jay. Now this is the one, condemnation. Condemnation means what? The strategy of darkness, what it says on condemnation. I want to read that because the book has a little bit more depth than I can talk from my heart. I'm going to read that. Strategy of darkness, condemnation. This is one of the prime strategies of the dark ones. Mark Prophet outlined one element of this strategy is, quote, to breaking of the image of God in you. Breaking of the image of God in you by condemnation. Did you think of that? When someone condemns you, you are not condemning your soul. Soul is a part of God. You are condemning the whole being, your Brahman, your God in you, soul, Atma, and Paramatma. Tinam. The three figure, the chart of the presence has the three images. The top one is a Paramatma, I am. The middle one is Atma. The lowest one is a Jivatma. So all three are being condemned by the dark forces. Okay. I think that's all I wanted to say. That. So why they condemn it? Why do they condemn it? Because they, remember I told you the dark forces, they do not like, they want your light. By condemning, what happens to a person when he's been condemned? The person feels sad, person feels low, person feels hurt, person feels like crying, people be like no self-worth. I mean, I'm not worth this, I'm not worth that. All those low images, projections come like arrows. They hit person from all sides. He wants to be alone. He wants to, people condemn. Tumne kuch nahi kiya, you have not done anything, you are this and you are that, you are this, you are not worthy. What happens? Why the person is condemned? What happens to the person inside of the being? His being by arrows coming from this and that side. But that is true. I'm going to talk to about something else that happens. The moment we feel sad, moment we feel hurt, moment we feel like crying, moment we want to be alone, moment we want to just feel like, low self-worth, somebody has punctured our aura. Someone has taken our light. We have given, who is someone? That person, that person, through that person, you have given the light to that person. Through that person, you have given the light has gone to the reservoir of the dark forces. This is how they perpetuate the reservoir of darkness. Did you know that? So that is their strategy, to single out a person like that and use someone who in the household, that whoever relation is, whoever friend is, whoever employees at the boss, whoever is all around, to make that person condemn this person, and then they get the light from there. So they have that. This is something that I'm giving you a bigger picture of what we did not know. I did not know that. Thanks to Mark Prophet, thanks to Wilker Prophet, thanks to a Sunday Master, we have this book that we can understand what is going on with us in the relative world that we are living. Why we are full of fear, of these energies of fear. Fear is another way. When they condemn you, they project fear on you. Something will happen. If you don't give me this, if you don't give me that, they put a black magic on you. They put the energy of cursing on you. That is out of fear. Fear is the biggest tool of the dark forces that they inject upon us. What comes with fear? Then you doubt. Oh, maybe they are right. Maybe, and you start believing in other person. You stop believing in I am the God in you, and you started doubting it. Oh, Sunday Master हैं भी हैं कि नहीं, पता नहीं, ये सर तो बोलते रहते हैं, सर तो ये हैं, ये है. There are so many cults over there. This could be another cult, अरे हमारे गुरु ने तो बताया नहीं है. Our guru has not told us this thing. Sir is telling all these things. He must be making some, gaining something, making some money, making, all these kind of things comes to your mind. Please know that this doubt and fear are the strategies. They work very successfully with the dark forces, and they are working on us right now in any way. No one is immune from us, including you and me and everyone who's going to make his moksha. He is becoming a saint. The more light you will gather, the more projection you will gather. That's why you have to use that guarding your light and building a momentum and guarding it. This is very, 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 each strategy of darkness, each strategy to counteract that darkness of light is very, very important to make us our ascension, to study them. That's why I'm not going too fast. I want to really get you to know that we are all being affected or impacted or being attacked in all directions. Did you see the movie Mahabharata? Not movie, the drama. There's a last scene of Bhishma Pitamaha at the very end, how he dies. He had taken a vow, but that is, I'm not going to go that. He was lying on the bed of arrows. Imagine those kind of arrows. We are being attacked from all sides by the dark forces in the relative world of, and the doubt and fear, and then everything else that comes with that. And so that's why we need protection of Archangel Michael, Hanuman Chalisa. We need decrees, we need strategy of light to know that how we can build our momentum and keep it that way and keep building on it and become the more full of light. I am just sharing with you these things because I'm learning, like we are all learning. Please don't think that I have mastered everything. I'm just like you on the same clipper ship of Lord Maitreya. We are all together. We help each other. We learn from each other, and we are together. But we have the tools, and the most important thing is I tell myself is not to take things for granted, because I know the masters. I am doing my degrees. It will happen. I have to be more mindful the quality of my degree, the level of my association with the masters, how I perceive myself. I don't put myself on the idol. I'm not a special son and daughter of God. I have a karma also to balance, and I'm learning. And so try to be genuinely humble. Try to be genuinely desirous. Have a desire. Have a deep desire. Almoria, I know my weaknesses. I know my strength. Help me become strengthen more strength in my strength, so I can overcome my weaknesses by them. And it's a daily process. It's a 24/7 process. Anyway, so I'm looking at strategy 7 on the other side. Do not accept the condemnation. How do you do that? Someone condemns you. How do you do that? You're going to say, I'm not going to accept it. You are wrong. Because then it's going to make the people think you are crazy, or you'll be in fire. More argument, when you say that, So how do you not accept the condemnation? And I'm going to explain to that. Recognize it, roll it back. This is the point. How we roll it back. This is the point. Do not accept it and recognize it, roll it back. Roll it back means something that, number one, you say, in the name of I think there's a call. I'm going to read that. In the name of my mighty presence, I encircle the thought form that I am dumb and stupid or incapable of performing this assignment. In the name of my mighty presence, my higher self is good enough, and it is acting through me now. So this is positive affirmation, but how do you roll it back? You say, in the name of my mighty presence, I roll all the condemnation back to the source whence it is being directed at me. In the name of my mighty presence, simple as that, you always say that, I roll back all the condemnation being directed at me through this person, whoever is giving you that. You can go privately in your room afterwards, and then you can say that, I roll it back to the source where it came from. It could have been coming through that person that is attacking you, whoever the person is. Your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friend, your this and your boss, your anyone on the street. You roll it through that, but it's coming through the source behind it. As I said, there is a source of the Black Brotherhood. Send it back to the source. And what you do is you raise your hands like that. We did the decrease to the mighty cosmos secret rays. Your hands, they have secret ray energy. You raise those energy. You can say, there's a decrease. I don't know whether you want to do that. It's called decrease 7.05, reverse the tide. It's called the reverse the tide or roll it back. So there is another decree, you can give that, but you can raise your hand, you can say that. If you do not want to have that decree, you can say, in the name of my mighty presence, I roll back all that energy, and your hands are raised up like that. So you're emitting the secret rays, you're rolling it back. And you can do that privately when you are not with that person afterwards. And you do it few times, and you can do some blue flame protection, you can do some mercy, you can do some decree for blue flame to free yourself from that energy. But before you do that, you always want to have tube of light around you, protection around you, tube of light around you. As many times a day you can do, 3-4 times a day. So you are not, when people condemn you, you do not feel it that much, or you want to feel at all. People are condemning you, you're protected by your tube of light, by the energy of condemnation. That is another way. Number 3, the third bullet, the human self is never good enough. Replace it with the divine. Human self is not good enough. Replace it with the divine. This is something that somebody says, you have this fault, you have that fault, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. But you say, I'm trying, and really be trying, disciplining. God's self is me, can fix it. If you are late sometime, always, God is me, I will help it. And you prove yourself that you, human self, don't take it. Human self is not good enough for me. I will late always, it doesn't matter. Human self is not good enough for me. Do something. God's self wants you to be on time. God's self wants you to be punctual. God's self, you want to be loving and kind. And try that one sincerely. That is quality. Replace it with the quality of the divine self, of Atma. Atma is your divine self. Jivatma is your human self. Replace it. That's what I'm saying. Some people become lazy. They say, oh, my human self is not enough. You have to take me the way I am. Sorry, that is a rebellion. That is not what I'm talking about. Okay, number 4. Connect with your real self, your Atma, I am, your Paramatma. The higher self, Atma, and is good enough. That's what I just said, Last one, don't allow yourself to fall into the trap of condemning others. This is the part that people forget it. I have to do it for that. They condemn me, I'm going to speak my piece also. And that's what happens, that is figure 8 flow. If we lose. We're giving them our light by condemning others. It's black magic, by the way. Condemning others is a black magic. Black magic is a shrub, and we are making our karma more for ourselves as we condemn others. We are making our cave, our kai deeper and deeper. Please know that this applies both ways. Strategy of light and darkness. Each one is a very precious. It's 5 minutes. Okay, into your time. Let's see if I think I want to stop here. I think it might be. Let me do one more strategy of number 8, flattery. Then I'll stop. I think that'll be a good point to have question and answer. Flattery is another side. You have a coin. One side is flattery. One side is condemnation. Other side is flattery. People who condemn you, they will always flatter how good you are, how wonderful you are. That is another tool of the dark forces. People, Sunday masters, do not flatter you. I'm telling you right now. Because unless you have reached to that point where you master said, they say good job, so and so, appreciate your good job, but they give the glory to the God in you. I give you the example of that. Flattery always, when someone flatters you, a person is not ready to receive the flattery, he could lose his path of becoming a Sunday master teaching. He may think he's someone special. No one else can do that what he's done. And that is a very big pitfall of a chela becoming an adept. You are chelas, you are becoming an adept. And it will stop chela with it will never become a chela with a capital C, only have a chela with a small c, C. But you want to become a chela with a capital C is an adept. You become someone who knows. Flattery, anytime someone flatters you, someone flatters me. I have watched Guru Ma do that whenever I saw some people during the conference, many conferences I attended, whenever people would say at the end of the conference, Guru Ma very nicely applaud, and say, wonderful conference, or hail Guru Ma, or what a great job. She will immediately say that, glory to God, all glory to God. Right away she will say that. Immediately she will say that. And what she was telling us, what she was showing us, that always give the glory to your I am that I am. My Father worketh hitherto and I work. That was a commandment of Jesus. My Father means my I am work. My light is coming from my heart, from my I am that I am. That's why my heart is beating. So why I should take credit for that? This is very, very sensitive but very dangerous pitfall for people to fall into, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously. We fall into that trap, and pretty soon we have a big ego. People have put a mask on. They have a mask of false humility. Have you heard this word? False humility. False humility. Good. People go to churches or gurdwaras or temples and they look very saintly, and come outside and they are a different person. So it's called false humility. So this is the false humility, that when people take flattery in themselves, they do not know themselves. They have two faces. They are double faces, and we have to be very mindful of that. So the strategy of light is number 8. Be humble in your individualized presence of God. Always give glory to God for each accomplishment. So whenever tell you someone what wonderful you are, you can say that thank you, but even thank you, when you say that, you have to be very careful that thank you are giving to whom. Thank you are giving to God in you. You know, a lot of people say thank you. Oh, I must be, I must. We need to have a self-esteem. Remember that. Self-esteem and low self-esteem is not good. We need to have a high self-esteem. What is self-esteem with a capital S? Self-esteem with a capital S is that you are one with God. You are important in because God in you is important. It's not, it's a divine ego. There's a difference between divine ego and human ego. The discernment, divine between divine ego and human ego. Again, going back to the threefold flame. Balance the threefold flame in me, the yellow plume. You know, discernment is very, very important thing to know that your enemy within is your dweller. How is the dweller is going to say, "Wah, ha, 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 I did a good job. I'm someone special." You know, everybody people do that. Yeah. How many followers you have? Oh, millions. 10,000. 1,000. Yeah. Oh, good. We got to get more followers. That's what the theory of the dark forces is. False guru is numbers. Not the quality, numbers. So anyway, I think I'm going to stop here. I think it's good place to get any question and answer. I think for the remaining time. So Jay, Poonam, all yours now.
Anji sir.
Okay, yeah, let's have question, I think, and comments or anything. I think we have 20 minutes, so let's give everyone opportunity to say something.
Okay, sir. Okay, do you have any question?
No, sir, I don't have any questions. Thank you very much. Because I'm sorry, it's very noisy where I am actually. That's why I don't want to speak. I have one or two questions, but I think I'll probably connect with you on personal chat or something because it's very noisy and I don't want to disturb the others. But very beautiful session, very enlightening. So thank you very much for doing this for us, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, आपका नाम नहीं मुझे tell me your name.
Sir, Belinda.
जी, ठीक है. Yeah. I cannot see your name over there. You know, I mean your what do you call the?
Yeah.
Sometimes the light comes on there, but
I'm out and it's very noisy. That's the reason.
Okay, thank you, Belinda.
Okay, do you have any question?
Yeah, I followed as much as I could there, but it's really a very enlightening session. A very enlightening session. I love it. I don't have any question for now. No question. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. नीरज जी, आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है?
हाँ जी, मैं ऐसा समझता हूँ कि लाइट के साथ ही डार्कनेस है. वन कॉइन टू फेस. तो हम उसको अलग कैसे कर सकते हैं? अगर मेरे हिसाब से यही है कि अगर मैं मेरा लाइट बढ़ा दूं तो डार्कनेस छुप जाएगा और डार्कनेस बढ़ेगा तो लाइट छुप जाएगा.
Yeah, very good question, Nirav ji. If I want to say that, let me say in English. The question is, okay, I think I want to explain that. He says that there are two sides of the same coin. One is light, one is darkness. How can I increase light? His thinking is that if he increases the light, the darkness will hide. If he increases darkness, light will hide. So what is the way of increasing light? So very good question. I want to answer it this way. I think the word that you mentioned, hiding, ya chup jayega, is not the right word. We do not want to chupna, because we are not playing hide and seek. We are Ascended Master teaching light and darkness. They are the darkness is misqualified light. Darkness is other name of misqualified light. Evil is the energy veil, energy veil that comes before us, which is the darkness places around us to attack us, energy wave. So our goal is, the Sunday Master teaching, the goal is to transmute the negativity, negative energy or darkness into light. It's its original form. The more we, absolutely, the more or the where we live in this world is a relative good and relative evil. We have some light, as you mentioned very beautifully, and some light, some darkness. So we have two sides of the same coin. We live into that relative world. We need to live in the golden ages. People used to live in the absolute world. When there was no darkness, there was absolute good, absolute light. There was no evil. What happened? Where did this relative world, the darkness came into the world? As I said, around us in our personal life and on the planet Earth as a whole. The darkness came because gradually people started misusing the free will. Free will was to use, actually the meaning of free will is that we have only the ideal definition of free will is free will to be God. All is, we Punjabi mein we say, tera pana meetha lage, pana is a free will. But we have interpreted that free will as my will, my way, highway kind of thing, God's will is, different and my will is different. So that is the entering into making the wrong choices and making more darkness. Our goal is really, to answer your question, is to saturate ourselves with more light. I'm calling it absolute light, all light. You can say, well, how can we do that? How can we? The idea is not hiding behind or making one hide. Idea is to get rid of it. Please know the difference of that. As long as we don't get rid of it, it's going to appear again, and it's going to trip us when we are least prepared for it. This is the strategy of darkness. Okay, I give you example. of that. I think we'll be talking about that later on. Imagine there is a pot of hot water. It's a very bad example, and I picked up the example from this book, Strategy of Light and Darkness. If you put Mark Prophet says, if you put a frog into that boiling water, frog will want to run out of that hot water because the boiling is getting affected by that. So he will just try to run out of that boiling water immediately. Put the frog in the cold water. Put the pot on the stove. Gradually increase the temperature. Gradually. He does not feel that temperature is rising, but he likes it. He likes it until it becomes boiling, and then he gets killed. This is the strategy of dark forces. Slowly make the person accustomed to that situation, that environment. So a person, and that is the dark forces. If you say, well, I want to hide behind it, how can you hide behind the darkness? Yeah, the dark. We say, okay, we're going to make you slowly. We're going to hide behind it, but you're going to come and get you later on. Then water becomes very hot. We're going to get you. So that is my clarification, that never take darkness as something your friend who's going to hide behind it. Always want to get rid of the enemy. Enemy is the dark forces. They have a reservoir of energy. They will have a strategy. They will try to trip everyone, and all the strategies that I have mentioned and many more. They will come every way, on every step of the way until the very last moment. Look at Gautama Buddha. What happened to Gautama Buddha? He was sitting under a bo tree. He meditated for 40 days. He got nirvana. He got enlightenment. Just before he got enlightenment, the dark forces come. The name is Mara, M-A-R-A. Mara says, "Oh, Gautama Buddha, go back to Samadhi. Who is going to understand what you got enlightenment? People will not understand what you have learned. Go back to Samadhi. Don't tell people." See what I mean? Even at that very last stage, the very last step before we enter into the ascension door, there will be dark forces sitting over there. They're saying, "Oh, don't go through that, just fall. What is, just stay there. Hey, enjoy your life a little bit more. So never ever trust the dark forces. You want to get rid of them, and I will tell you the key. Threefold flame that we talked to you about, 20.03. Poonam, please post that decree later on. 20.03. You can give that decree. That is your bread and butter. The threefold flame decree, balance threefold flame. That gives you how to have a balanced threefold flame in us, so we can make the right choices of getting rid of that darkness permanently, slowly, with other decrees that we are doing. The decrees, the mantras, we have many mantras. I'm not saying that don't give your mantras. So Kali Ma, Durga Ma, Saraswati Ma, Shivji, Ganeshji, all those decrees to Sanat Kumara, all those mantras are key. They're helpful. What I'm saying is the mantras are devotional. They give us an energy. Decrees are commands. You can command the energy. That's the only difference. I'm saying that. Use both. I tell people, go to Gurdwara, use the Shabad. They are devotional. Bhajans are devotional. Mantras are devotional. They are very good. Praise are devotional. But mantras are commanding energies. I am in the name of I am that I am. In the name of Om Tat Sat Om. You can command. I gave you the energy. I gave you example. Jesus said, get thee behind Satan. In the name of I am that I am, you can say, in the name of I am that I am, get you behind me. Get you behind me means he's commanding the energies. How can you say that into negative forces as a command? Can you say that, please get behind me, my friend, as a prayer? Or you can say, God, please help, please take this demon behind me. God will do that when you say that prayer. But when you say command, you are in the driver's seat. God is speaking through you, through me as a command. That's the difference. I think that's all. That's my answer is, I think it's a very good question. We want to get rid of the darkness, absolute 100%. Our goal is become a Sanjay master. So we can have absolute light in us, 100%.
Okay.
That's all.
Thanks, sir. Thanks. Very clear. I understood.
Yeah, thank you.
पूजा तुरी जी, आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है?
हाँ जी, नमस्ते सर. हेलो सर. Thank you. हाँ जी सर. Thank you, sir. Regarding discernment, I listened to your last week's. I couldn't attend, but I listened to the video. Is that an ability to decide whether between the truth and error, like right and wrong? Is that something? Is that what discernment is? Like it's a process of making careful distinction between the truth and thinking about the truth. Is that the discernment? Is that the definition of discernment is?
That's a good question. Discernment comes from the yellow plume. We're talking about the yellow plume. Yellow plume is a discernment. How do you yellow plume with the mind? Yellow plume is mind of God, mind of your Atma, using the mind of the Atma, your higher self, because he knows the answer. I am the mind. Atma is the same mind as your Paramatma, your top figure that I am, which is mind of God. We call it mind of God. Discernment is, as you said, very good between truth and error. How does it come to you? This is the way I suggest. It's a process of honing, Honing, honing your mind, holding your thoughts, to attuning your thoughts, aligning your thoughts with your thoughts. When I say your thoughts of your Jivatma with your Atma, how you do that? How you do that is acknowledging. There are many things, you can say that. It's actually, again, comes to the answer is again threefold flame, balance the threefold flame in me. That is one residing in the heart chakra. Heart meditations are very important. Heart meditation, that the heart is a very important chakra, by the way. Heart meditations are very important. The discernment is really also discrimination and also determination. These are the three plume. But we are talking about discernment right now. Yes. Discernment comes by by meditation, by honing your ears, honing your vibration to your level of your higher self. Just say, I'll give you an example of that. God, yeah, you can say prayer, a Sunday master, or you can say God, or you can say whatever. Please, please, I have a question. Can you tell me what should I do, this way or that way? Should I go this way or should I go that way? Should I do this or should I do that? Should I right or should I go left or should I? So all the questions. What happens next? Sometimes we forget about the question what we asked to God. So when answer comes, but our mind is not there to the listening gear. We have forgotten that mailbox mein answer aa gaya hai. Yes, it is waiting for me, but my door is shut, because my attention has gone, or I'm worried too much about this thing or worry about that, or my mind is not there. So I'm not in a listening mode. Honing yourself to the listening mode, but the key is this. Being in perpetually attunement with God is one thing I learned from the Sunday Master teaching is that we have to hone our inner ear. So the voice comes from the inner ear. So when we do meditation, that's a good one. Om chanting of Om is good meditation. Other things are to go to the park or go someplace silence, or try to see how many voices you can hear in a park. Go to a park, see, I hear the bird, I hear that kind of bird, I hear that, I hear the siren going. So try to make a list of how many voices you can hear at one time. Waterfall, fountain, or children playing, or people laughing or clapping. Make a list of how many voices you can hear in the park. What's going on? I'm not talking about watching, but listening. Listening to increase your capacity. You call honing the skills of your inner ear. And that is what we are doing, is we are attuning, we are preparing ourselves to listen to the silent voice of our inner higher mind or conscious, sixth sense, conscious. Conscious speaks through that. When we have too much noise, too much bombardment, too much this, we dull our inner, the channel of listening to the inner voice, we dull it. We don't hear it. Christ's higher mind will be telling us, Poonam, Pooja ji, aapne ye sawal kiya tha. Uska jawab ye hai, but my mind is not there because I have closed the door. I'm busy with other things, I'm not paying attention to that. So this is one thing that I know. So heart meditation, Om, chanting Om, stillness, calmness, disciplining your mind. Put your fingers like on your heart chakra, threefold flame, doing the decrease through the threefold flame. Listening to the music that is classical, that is peaceful. All these are simple tools that help us to be quiet, be still. Solar plexus energies solar plexus energy is disservice. Solar plexus energies are always in the way of listening to the voice, the still voice. It's a still silent voice that comes. So you have to prepare ourselves. It will take some time, but I'm telling you that I'm sharing that with you because we all go through that. Every saint has gone through that. It's not something that one has achieved that, but we are helping each other because it is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a sadhana. It's a process. It takes work, but it's diligently ask the master. In this case, ask master of the heart chakra. Who is the master of the heart chakra? Third ray. The third ray decrease, Paul the Venetian. Paul the Venetian is the master of the Chohan of the third ray of heart. As Paul the Venetian gave his decrees 30 in the 30.00 section, there are like 10 decrees in 30.00 to heart chakra. Holy Christ, self above me. Give those decrees to them. And they're beautiful decrees, and Paul will help you. Paul will say, he gave a dictation one time. Paul says, no one calls me from the earth. My chelas do not call me. They call every other master. They call me, they do not call me. I'm sitting there, my bell doesn't ring. My telephone bell doesn't ring. So call to Paul the Venetian, third ray, 30.00. Paul, I need your, how do I get discernment? I think those are some of the answers I can give.
Thank you, sir. One comment I'd like to make. Like it is to do with the wisdom. You've explained it really well, but it is so important for us being on the path that to understand the right teaching. Because if we are not receiving the right teaching, the true teaching, like you example you gave about the false guru and the false chelas. So then where is the wisdom going to come if the teacher itself is false? So the difference between the true teachings and the false, we have to understand as being the seekers. If that foundation is not clear, then all the wisdom which is going to be pouring, it's just will take us nowhere.
What was the strategy of light there? Remove yourself from the false hierarchy.
Yes.
That's what. So what you're saying, how do you remove?
Yeah.
How do you? If you do not know, if you do not know your false hierarchy, how do you remove? That's the question that you're saying. You know. So I think I'll give you this answer. What God has given me when I was searching. I was searching. I went to many so-called false gurus, you know, and I got that intuition that something is not right here. This is not the place for me. I was there for a while. I kept. I went. I went to 3 or 4 places. Finally, I was crying. I was like, God, you are there someplace. मैं क्या पंजाबी में रब जी तुसी हैगे हो, you know, कद तक मैं धक्के खांदा रहूंगा, कद तक, how long I will be looking for you. I want you. I need you. Please, you know, I'm tired of searching for truth. Who has the truth? Give me, lead me to that person and give me proof that is the right place. Give me proof. I don't want to go to another false guru and then find out later on that they have been duped. This is what I asked. I demanded. I said, take me to a real place and give me proof that is a real place. And I'm tired of that. And God hears every prayer. God hears every son and daughter of God, every child of God asking for truth. I'm enough. I don't know. I cannot go any longer. I'm getting old. You know, that was like 45 years ago, and when I was at that point. And then that's what happens. So my suggestion is, God has brought you. You can tell your friends who are in that, when come to you for assistance, tell them the same thing. Yes. I asked Babaji. Babaji is a unascended master of the Himalayas, Mahavatar Babaji. He gave a dictation. He has given 2 dictation through Guru Ma. And both of them, he said, in one of the dictation, he says, ask me for proof, and I'll give you proof and more proof that what you need to know in your life. So ask Babaji for any proof, but you can tell your people if they're looking for teaching, ask Babaji, you know, tell them, ask Babaji, mujhe proof to this organization or that guru or that guru or that guru or whatever you want to do in your life, right or wrong, what I'm doing. Rely on Babaji. He is an unascended master of the Himalayas. He is very close to us. He is my guru. I cannot, I'll tell you my story with Babaji some other time. He is very tangible, very physical guru. You know, read the book, Autobiography of a Yogi, chapter 33. You will find about him more.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I just want to say we are the fortunate ones. We are the fortunate ones to be the chelas of masters. So thank you so much for sharing this wisdom with us. Thank you. Thank you, Poonam and Jay. Thank you.
JP sir, आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है?
The answer is my satisfaction.
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है सही से.
मैंने कहा कि आपने जो प्रश्नों के उत्तर दिए हैं वही मेरे लिए they are a good food for me to digest.
Thank you.
काव्या जी आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है? काव्या जी आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है? रनी जी आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है?
हाँ जी.
नहीं जी, नो क्वेश्चन, थैंक यू. ज्यादा मेरे दोबारा सुनना पड़ेगा सर. आज बीच में आई हैड अ मीटिंग, भागना पड़ गया. सो कल पूछूंगी.
Yeah, I'm very happy you came. I'm very happy that everyone came, and please, you know, that is more important. I think if you can listen to it again, I think this is going to be a very enlightening session. As I said, I'm going to go very slowly. I'm not in a rush to finish all the 33 strategies in a hurry, because they pertain to us very in-depth understanding, you know. So.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. No, I think the light and the dark is the most important thing in our lives, because that's what dupes us all our life. So, अगर ये समझ आ गया सर, तो मुझे लगता है कि जिंदगी का सारा सार समझ आ जाएगा. Thank you so much for being there for all of us.
Thank you.
Sir, it's हो गया.
Okay. All right. Everybody has done, and I think it's right on the ball. We are on time. Please, tomorrow, do attend. Tomorrow is a dictation from a Sunday Master Lanello. It's very beautiful dictation. We'll talk about it. It is, I think that's something. Please, you can, you know, all I request of you is that please carry on. Some of the things you may not be able to follow at one time. It happened with me. You know, gradually it starts gelling together, assimilating together. But I think God in you is much more compassionate, much more stronger, much more patience. And so we just are together, and God will lead us all the way. You know, and gradually understanding of everything that we need to know. So with that, I'm going to make a sealing invocation. Jay, would you like to make a sealing invocation, my friend, today?
Okay, sir. The name I am that I am, in the name of Title God that never fails. I thank all the masters, angels who overshadowed us during this meeting. Let there be blessing of God. Let there be holy will of God be done today and forever. Let it be in God's holy will. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice evening. Yeah. Sat Sri Akal. Yeah. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you. Thank you very much.